We're back. We're back. We are back. We are on session number 2. Session number 2 in some social media world. My second passion. It's what I love. It's what I love. So I'm hoping people at the end of these videos get some value out of it to start doing some outdoor creatorship of their own. So we're going to jump right into it. Again, I have Instagram and YouTube going right now, so I'm kind of between both. But here we go. Thank you, everybody, for coming in last time. I got some badges. That was pretty cool. Again, this is right now the best time to grow on social media. I know my my account on Instagram really isn't social media. I mean, I'm on social media, but it's not like I really talk about it. I'm doing more of outdoorsy stuff. But the reason I want to talk about it is because I have a lot of followers that are in the outdoor niche. And I think a lot of people are doing really, really cool stuff that have a really, really good shot at breaking out in the creator scene and working with really cool brands that you love. So I really want to see people do that because I started doing it, changed my life, and it's been great. So right now, why should you listen to me about this topic? I have now 60,000 people across the 3 main platforms that I use, which is Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And so a lot of my long form stuff is on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to that, that's a really good place. But I have a lot of short form stuff on TikTok and Instagram. And obviously, I told the story about last time where I had a viral video in 2020 go viral. And it pretty much changed my life. So I think that could happen to you. And this is basically how you're going to do it. So here is 12 quick wins that you can do on social media right now after this live that should skyrocket your views. I mean, I'm not going to say skyrocket. That sounds scammy. That should increase your views and help you grow more followers and be able to contact the brands that you like, because now you have a portfolio of people that are following your stuff. So number 1, let's go into TikTok. So TikTok right now, comment below Instagram and what's up, Brody, on YouTube. Comment now on Instagram. Do you guys have a TikTok right now? Everybody on Instagram right now or YouTube, do you guys have a TikTok? Just comment me on there if you have a TikTok. I want to see. Does anybody else have a TikTok? Anybody at all? Yes, PNW, best place is great. Yes, I use it. 0. Totally get it. No TikTok. Wow, we don't have a lot of TikTokers on here, really? Guys, did you know that you're pretty much watching TikTok when you're watching Instagram Reels? I mean, it's the same thing, right? Pretty much the same thing, but I see what you're saying. Why? I'm curious. Why do people not have a TikTok? And I wonder if it's just I wonder if it's hashtag oldies. Yeah, I wonder if it's our generation. I mean, I'm 30, so I'm not a boomer, but I'm a millennial. There's a lot of Gen Zers on there. We got one TikTok there. Tired of learning new shit. I get that. TikTok funds China. Yeah, maybe. Too many social media platforms. IG 36. Well, here's the good thing about TikTok, though. Well, there's my sister. Spent too much time on it. TikTok is very addicting. I agree. Okay, well, it seems like there's not a lot of people that are on this that have TikTok. So I'm just going to go right into my Instagram 6 then. I'm just going to listen to everybody on the chat. So yeah, Brody on YouTube is old. I'm 35. Hey, 30, 40 is the new 30. So that's what I'm thinking about, right? Okay, so let's get into 6 tips on Instagram. How to grow on Instagram then. Okay, number 1, if you haven't done this already, the first thing that you want to do is you want to switch your account to a business account. So you do that in your profile, and you have some options between a personal, creator, and a business account. And the reason you want a business account is because you can actually get in there and you can look at the analytics to how your posts are doing. So you can see like what really hit and you can see what really didn't hit. And so you can kind of just you can adjust accordingly to that. Now, I do a business account over a creator account because, as we all know, we love our stories when we upload our stories. And if you have a creator account, unfortunately, you can't use music in the story, which is really weird. So that's why I use a business account. They're all the same. Just can't use music in the stories. I don't really know why that is. So that's why I recommend a business account. The other good thing about using a business account is the fact that you can then screenshot your analytics for engagement and you can share that with brands that you might want to work for. Okay. I kind of want to see in the chat, is there anybody who's like a brand that you would love if you were a creator and you could like create videos, photos, or something like that? Like who's a brand that you would love to work for? Like, would be your dream brand? Off the top of my head, I know mine would be probably like Black Diamond or something like that. I think that would be a really cool brand to work for. What is a cool brand what is the dream brand you would love to work for? Yeah, Patagonia. There we go. You know what, Mr. Nice? Guess what? I actually have Patagonia on my wall right now. It's called my wall of hate. Not that I hate the brand, it's just that they gave me a denial letter for being an affiliate for them. So they're on my list. Yeah, REI, Black Diamond, REI, Patagonia is a big one. Interesting. Okay. I got to write that down. I do have a Patagonia rain jacket. I love it. Absolutely love it. Salomon. Yeah, Salomon. So Salomon, they constantly are looking for people to represent their brand. Like every spring, they actually have a like little round where they're picking people similar to Ultra. You can simply go on their site and you can Google Salomon Squad. You can take a look at that. Looking at YouTube right now, we got Gossamer gear. Patagonia is too Gucci. Yeah, they're pretty expensive. They have a Gossamer gear, the 110. That's pretty cool. MSR, interesting. Cub Crafters. I don't know what that is actually. Not sure. Outdoor OR. Yep. Peak, so I can change their food. Yes. So, okay. So, yeah. So, what you want to do, so if you're trying to work with these brands, like one of the things they're going to really want to see is your engagement of your posts. Like how many people are commenting, sharing, what's your viewership like, that type of stuff. And through the business account, through the analytics, you can actually take a screenshot and you can send it to them at whatever time it is that if you're trying to apply for their like the Solomon Squad, or if you're just like doing a cold reach out to them. Arcturix, right? So the second thing that you want to do to grow your Instagram account is you want to post during active hours. How do you figure out when people are actually online? Well, the way you do that is through the analytics that I just talked about in your business account. So you will see like most active times people are online. And what I like to do is I like to post at least 1 hour before it. And for whatever reason, for me, it seems like my audience comes on mostly at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm usually posting at like 1 or 2. So you want to get the most engagement that you can in that first period of time. So like right when you upload the post, think of it as a snowball. So the faster it gains momentum, the more reach you're going to start getting on that post, which leads me into my next tip, which is engage heavily, especially in the first 2 hours of a post. I'm always hanging around and answering. I mean, you guys know, I always answer comments anyway, just because I love talking to people and everybody leaves great comments, by the way. Everybody, especially on Instagram, you guys leave awesome comments. I'm always pinning your guys' comments. They're just great. But I always make sure I engage heavily in the first part of when I actually upload a post. And that's because it gets that ball rolling. And so in the copy of the post, which just simply means in the description of your posts, a lot of times I'll ask a question to get that conversation started and to get people commenting on it so then I can respond to them. And that typically will drive up views, that drives up the engagement, which the algorithm really likes to see. So the next part, okay, here's a question for you guys, YouTube and Instagram. How many people have okay, first of all, what is your opinion of Reels? I want to know, what is your opinion of Instagram Reels? And I know on YouTube, how about YouTube, my YouTube guys on here, YouTube Shorts? Well, what's your opinion on Instagram Reels? And has anybody ever added an Instagram Reel before? Love them, easy to make. So we got Sophie, love them, easy to make, easy to watch. Yeah, I agree. Love them, really cool stuff. I like them, kind of addictive. I agree. I agree. So that is that short form video content that I was talking about in my video yesterday that you can go back and watch on my profile. But short form video right now is king. It's the reason why YouTube came out with YouTube Shorts. Instagram came out with Instagram Reels, and they're trying to compete with that short form video that TikTok made popular. And so right now, if you're trying to grow on Instagram, what you want to do is you have to be posting Reels. You have to be posting Reels. If the Instagram CEO, that Adam guy, said that Instagram is no longer a photo platform, that's like our sign as creators to then go and do what the algorithm wants you to do. And as you get favored by the algorithm, you're actually following with what they want from you. They're gonna reward you with more reach, more engagement, and more eyes on your video. So it's great that there was some comments there with people really enjoying the Instagram Reels. Like they were saying, easy to make, entertaining, and there's just something about short form video content that's different. Now, here's the other thing, guys. When it comes to Reels, one reason why I think people like Reels more, I have a theory. Let me know if I'm right. But let's think about Instagram prior to Instagram Reels. Instagram was a place where you would kind of low key flex on your friends. Right? I mean, you were basically posting things that was a highlight reel for you. I mean, we all did it. I did it. Still kind of do with my stories, right? But Reels kind of came along. I think that kind of made people relate a little bit more, and it's also Reels and TikToks they're basically the same thing, but it's kind of they're not as produced. They're not as produced as like a really heavy edited photo that you would see in Instagram prior to Reels. And I think people like that authenticity. So that's like a really good tip. Like when you are making your Reels, they do not have to be this giant production thing. They're very simple to make, like we're seeing in the comments. And yeah, it really doesn't have to be like this huge production. Okay, so more stuff on growing on Instagram. Okay, so here's a really big one. So this is called a CTA, or a call to action. So in all of your videos, you want to have a call to action as to what they should do with the video, whether that is like, share, or follow. And that just, again, increases the engagement on that particular video that you're doing, or the particular piece of content that you put out there. It also kind of signals to the algorithm that, hey, people are following somebody after this post. That means that person's piece of content and subsequent piece of content is probably performing very well, so they're going to keep pushing that out. Now, something else I like to do in my posts is to kind of increase that engagement and to get everybody kind of talking to each other is ask a question like, has this ever happened to you? And I put two arrows pointing down, referring to the comment section. And usually people will see that and they will comment. And that's kind of a form of a call to action as well. So also another thing that you can do is share some kind of a story in your description. As we know, reels will loop in the background. If you're reading a description, the reels will loop in the background. So, like as you're reading somebody's story or something, some kind of personal story in the description, the reels looping in the background, you're getting those views. So that's freaking awesome. Now, the other cool thing, people were hating on TikTok earlier, and I will say this about TikTok. Instagram recently put in a bonus program, the Instagram bonus, and that is to compete with TikTok's creator fund. So when you get over 10,000 followers on TikTok, you can apply for their creator fund, and I'm not sure what it is with Instagram, but you get invited. Now, with TikTok, I have probably made in the creator fund, and I have a good amount of views on TikTok. I've probably made in TikTok's creator fund what I have made in, so the what, 2.5 years I've been in that, I've probably made in 2 months on Instagram bonuses what I've made in TikTok, which is kind of crazy. So it is good. If we have people on here that really like reels, that's a good thing. Instagram really does try to incentivize the creator to produce. We've never seen this with any kind of platform, or we've never seen this with Instagram, right? You never got into a bonus thing of when you posted a photo on Instagram before, right? Now with reels, you get money for views, which is pretty crazy. And again, they're trying to incentivize you to post there because there's not as much supply, because a lot of people are on TikTok. TikTok's taking the attention away. This is why I'm saying, like, this is such a really good time to grow, especially on Instagram and YouTube right now. Okay, so hashtags. I don't know. Put them in the body of your post. I don't know why people post them and put them in the comments. Don't do that. Put them in the body of your description, and you want to have a rotation of like 10 to 14 that are really popular in your niche. So let's say that you're trying to grow your hiking TikTok account or Instagram account. What I would do is I would go and I would watch some reels of popular hiking TikTokers, and I would literally steal their hashtags. Now, most of them are going to be niche specific to what you want. Maybe some of them won't be, but a lot of times they'll have really niche specific, and a niche just simply means like a certain subject, but they'll have a niche specific hashtags that you can just copy down. And what I do is I just put them in my notes on my iPhone, and I'll just copy and paste them to my under my description. Now, you really want to make sure you're rotating these. You don't want to use the same ones because Instagram will think that you're like spamming the hashtag if you're using them too much. So you want to have a rotation of, I have a group of, I think, 5 or 6 different hashtags that are about 10 to 14 each group. And they're all different though. And so like I'll put different ones on different posts. One time I actually got into a point where my reach on Instagram was super low. It would have been last winter, and it was because I kept using the same hashtags, and it took a while to dig out of that hole, and that really sucked. So really wasn't fun. So does anybody want to hear about TikTok? 6 ways to grow on TikTok. If you want to hear about TikTok, let me know in the comments, because I can go over that real quick. TikTok and Instagram are very similar. I mean, what you're seeing on Instagram Reels really is basically recycled TikToks. A lot of the trends on Reels were older TikTok trends. So a lot of them originated on there. So, yeah. Okay. Mr. Nice, we got, you know what? All right. Thank you for commenting that, because I was going to have to skip it. All right, TikTok. Here's the thing about TikTok, guys, and why I think this is a very good opportunity to be on TikTok if you're not on TikTok. Number one, 40% of, and I'll share this article, 40% of Gen Z uses TikTok to search for something they're interested in rather than Google. So an article just came out that said that Gen Z is the generation below me, right? Like high schoolers and stuff like that. 40% are using TikTok to search for things. So whether they're interested in a town or something like that, or if they're interested in some kind of a hike, they're going to type that in and they're going to see 5 tips to hiking Angel's Landing in Utah. That's what they're doing. We have a question here. Do you create one reel and then share it in both platforms, or is it best to do separate reels? Great question. This is what I do. Without going a little too off topic, but this is a really good question. I always usually create my first piece of content on TikTok. And what I do from TikTok is I recycle it to Instagram and YouTube. So I copy the URL from TikTok. I put it into this website called SnapTik. And from there, it removes the watermark, because you don't want to do the watermark in Instagram or YouTube because the algorithm sees that and you're kind of done. So I remove the watermark and then I just change some stuff around with like the description and things, and boom, that's why I'm saying, like, if you are already doing reels or if you're already doing TikTok, you should also cross populate to all these other platforms, because you're literally you're using the same piece of content for all these different platforms without having to do extra work. So you're basically doing 3 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to Gen Z. 40% of Gen Z. Okay, why this is important for people on TikTok is because this is like early Google. When you were an early person writing a blog or a blogger, you were able to rank super high on Google. You were able to rank number 1 in Google. Absolutely. You're able to rank number 1 in Google. So this is what TikTok's trending towards now. TikTok used to be a lot of trends and things. Now they're getting into search engine optimization, which means SEO. So again, think of it as the first page on Google. What TikTok's now doing, because people are searching for things on their site, is they are now ranking people's stuff like it's in page 1 of Google. And why this is an opportunity for everybody is because there's not a lot of people are aware of this now. This is kind of newer. This is a newer type of thing that TikTok's trending towards. So you could create a piece of content on, let's say how to use trekking poles, and you could possibly be under the hashtag and ranked very, very high under trekking poles, because people would be searching how to use trekking poles. So you could rank high on that. If you look at sleeping bag right now, like I'm in that top area on TikTok, which is kind of cool, just randomly. So you can rank for keywords. That's what TikTok is trending towards now. And it's easy to do because there's not a lot of supply. Okay, now with that being said, the other thing to grow on TikTok is TikTok algorithm obviously favors trending sounds. So you want to hop on these trends as early as possible. And what I like to do to find these sounds is I like to scroll my For You page, or the FYP, and I'll set a timer for like 30 minutes and I'll just scroll it. And every time you'll see duplicate videos that have the same sound. That usually means that they're starting to trend. So I'll click that sound, I'll save that sound, and then I'll think of if I can use that for my niche. Now, if you're out of ideas, the third tip for this, if you're like, oh my God, like I cannot think of anything to make on TikTok. If you're out of ideas, again, you can set a timer for 30 minutes, scroll your For You page, and do what I just did. If you like something, favorite that sound. I also like to click the sound and then view the other videos in that sound category that are ranking. And usually I'll go through those for a little bit, and then something will kind of branch off in my brain to have an idea. And so that's kind of how I will go about creating it. And then I'll just write them on a piece of paper. Then I'll go back. I'll usually do like 6 at a time. And then maybe I'll go and I'll film 3. So at a time, but that's called batch creating. You can go and you film 3. Now you have 3 TikToks. You film them all in one day. Now you can post one for 3 days. And now you're 3 days free of having to think of content. So just like the question asked at the top, number 4 was repurposed TikToks. I had no need to recreate it. You simply just download it from TikTok. You have to make sure, very, very critical, that you're removing the watermark before you're posting it on other platforms. But yeah, absolutely. You can just do that. Super easy. Number 5 is never delete your videos on TikTok. And you're probably like, Chad, what do you mean? What if I screwed something up or if it got low views? So if you delete your videos, speaking from personal experience, everybody always talks about like, oh my God, I'm shadow banned. I'm shadow banned. But if you actually look at their content, it's like, well, your content just isn't performing because it's not a good piece of content. But you can actually get shadow banned if you start deleting a lot of your videos. And so what happened to me was I created this video for a brand and I screwed it up because I forgot something in the description, like a hashtag or something that they were requiring. So I deleted the video. I re-uploaded it. I screwed it up again. So I had to delete it again. So I had 2 deletions like within a span of 10 minutes. I re-uploaded it, did terrible. And then probably for like 2 weeks after that, like all my views were just tanked. Wasn't on the How you know you're shadow banned is you're not on the For You page. And you can see that again in your analytics in a creator account. You go in there, you look in your analytics, and if you're not showing up on the For You page, then that means that you are likely shadow banned. So that's what was happening to me. So now what I do, I dug out of that hole. What I do is I just private the videos if I screw it up. I just private it and I don't delete it, private it. If you are deleting stuff, it kind of signals to the algorithm. So I've heard, and I guess experienced, that you don't believe in your content. So why would they push it out to a total random audience? Okay, number 6. There's some really good creators to follow on TikTok right now. And in my free ebook that I'm going to talk about in a second here, I actually have them listed there. But one of the people actually will give you she'll email like 2 or 3 times a week trending sounds. So a lot of times I'll even just click in that email. I'll click the hyperlink. It'll take me to a sound. Boom. And I'll be like, oh, I like this audio. I'll save it. I'll be like, okay, this is what I'm going to use or this could be like a potential idea for that. And then I will again write it down, potentially film it, and then upload it. So it was a really good way. But yeah, a lot of these people on here have really good understanding of TikTok, the algorithm, and stuff like that. So, and then I wasn't planning on talking about this, but YouTube Shorts. I don't know. Is anybody on here? You should leave a comment. Does anybody on here? I mean, I'm live on YouTube too down here, but does anybody watch YouTube Shorts? Anybody watch YouTube Shorts? Comment if you do. I would say I'm probably on YouTube the most out of any of my platforms. Like researching stuff. Got 1 yes, awesome. So it's really, again, it's like the same thing. I mean, you can take your Instagram reel and you can repurpose it to immediately while at work. Yeah, me too. Never heard of it until today. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So YouTube Shorts. Obviously, YouTube's known as a search engine, or not a search engine, rather. Actually, they're the second largest search engine compared to Google. If you knew, that's a quick fact for you. But it's known for longer form content. But they are also getting involved in short form video. I mean, it's crazy how hard these platforms are pushing short form video, which is why I keep telling people this is the best time to grow on it, because they are so prioritizing this and there's just not a lot of people that are either taking it seriously or there's just not a lot of supply. So I literally know that I literally used to work for this brand until they tried to make me go to a event and film for them for free. Then I stopped. But I know they literally created a YouTube account in 2021. They created a YouTube account. They got a freaking they uploaded a short of somebody jumping out of a plane. It got 1 million views and they got like 50,000 subscribers off of this one video. I mean, I still am under 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I have uploaded many, 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 many videos. That's been my hardest platform to grow on. But they just did that in 2021. Like in 2020 when YouTube Shorts wasn't even a thing. It would have been incredibly hard to upload one of your first videos and get 1 million views unless you're like absolutely an amazing video editor or something. I have no idea. So YouTube Shorts, it's basically the same thing as Instagram Reels and TikTok. And again, it's like the third platform that you can totally just repurpose your content on and with no extra work. The other really cool thing about YouTube Shorts, if you really want to monetize YouTube, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and you need to have 10,000 watch hours. Way easier with YouTube Shorts. When I joined YouTube and I was trying to get to monetize my YouTube videos, it took a while because it was all long form at that time. But with the advent of YouTube Shorts and I don't even know, I lost my train of thought there. That's what happens on these lives, whatever. The advent of YouTube Shorts, you get a lot more watch time on it, you get a lot more views, you get a lot more people subscribing to your content. And it's a lot easier than making a long form video. Long form videos take hours and hours and hours. So, but they are probably the most fun out of all of those. Is there any other questions of anything that I did not touch on? Anybody want any questions on growing on YouTube, Shorts, Instagram, or TikTok? Oh, nice. Yep. Monetize on YouTube, grandfathered in the old rules. Same here. Same here. We grew the hard way, right? We grew the hard way. So in my final video tomorrow, I'm going to go over what your life could look like if you're able to grow on some of these platforms. And I know that's kind of vague, but I'm going to be really kind of hammering home the point that this is, again, the best time to grow on all of these platforms. It's the best time to grow on social media since probably the start of Instagram. So again, I'm going to be kind of going over what your life could look like. And I'll just kind of be giving you some examples of what mine has changed since 2020, since I had one video go randomly viral, and how I've used that and gained momentum to that, and what it now looks like when you can work for brands. I'll be giving some tips around like how to work for brands, how to like reach out to brands and things like that. Now, I do have a free ebook available for everybody, and it's basically just rehashing and going over what I just said here, but it'll be a good thing for a good way for you to remember a lot of this information. One of the things in the ebook, I wrote it was about last year around this time. Obviously, things change a lot. So the one thing that there needs to be a correction on is posting. I had post every 48 hours on Instagram. I wouldn't do that. What I like to do is I post 5 days a week now, Monday through Friday. I take the Saturday, Sunday off. But the more that, because there is so little supply, you want to get it out as much as possible, because it gives your videos as much reach as possible. And we don't know how long this all is going to last. Like, they could be tomorrow, they could be like, you know what, reels aren't working for us, and we don't want to do reels anymore, which would be really, really sad. It would really suck. And I don't think they're going to do that. But I don't know how long the organic reach, which simply just means you posting a video and it getting 10. For instance, for example, I had someone that I was coaching that literally created a new account, has 115 followers right now. And she had even less back then. Her second or third reel that she uploaded, 10.3 thousand views. Like, how does that happen with like 80 followers? That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that the organic reach is just insane. It's insane on all three of these platforms, which is why you need to take advantage of it. Anyway, so free ebook is going to be in my link in my bio. So just hit my bio and click the thing, put your name in there, email, and then it should just automatically shoot you the ebook on that. So that's it for today. That is it. I hope everybody had a great time. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going over what your life could look like if you had just one post go viral, basically. Okay? All right. Later. Hello.